Hey, everybody. Welcome to Four Records. I'm Forrest.
And I'm Karina.
This week we have Tahlena Chikami from Bite Me Bambi on. This was a fun interview. I haven't, I've known Tahlena forever. She's my sister's best friend, but I didn't know a lot of these records and things that she liked. So it was interesting, talking to her about these.
There's a lot of fun discussion coming up.
Hmm.
There's a lot of, I don't know, I feel it's unpredictable, like
Yeah.
definitely with the last one. Um, it's overall, it's a fun episode. I don't know Thalena before this. Uh, so I can only judge from
The
out of
music.
music choices, but I've absolutely adored this episode. Also, I felt it was very me. I felt I was very seen as who I am and as a child and stuff. So, yeah, like two theater kids just meeting and
All right. Well, here's Tahlena Chikami's Four Records. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, hold on. I
hi.
can't hear any of you.
You can't
Please
hear
hold.
any of us. Okay.
Sorry. There it is.
All
Sorry.
right.
I'm like having the technology of an 84-year-old woman right now. I don't know why.
It just
I know.
happens.
Like,
I
It,
know.
it it just happens. I do old man stuff all the time and I catch myself doing old man stuff and then I've got three people to laugh at me about old man stuff.
I spent an hour today talking with my friends about the weather. She took
very
a nap.
English.
My friend took a nap and he came back and went like, I've slept for an hour and you guys have only been talking about the weather. I was like, yeah, our knees aren't hurting.
When you were going through the years that I gave you, what was your thought process on picking these?
Um, you know what? I feel like I was reflecting on it while I was in the shower earlier. I think I picked them based on how they influence, like how my musical journey unfolded.
Okay.
So it's kind of like influences, I guess, is kind of how I ended up picking them. I didn't mean to, but that's just sort of like a lot of them don't really have to do with personal stuff. It's more like musical journey, I guess.
The first one was Extension from Manhattan Transfer, or do I have that the wrong way?
No, that's it. Yeah, the album is called Extensions or Extension by the
Extension.
Manhattan Transfer.
Yeah. Okay.
Extension, yeah.
So is this Devo jazz? Is this sci-fi disco? Is it theater core? I don't know what it is. And I know it can work on either of those levels.
Yeah, I'm often roasted because I'm very public about my love for the Manhattan Transfer, and I'm often roasted about it. They were my first concert when I was 10 years old. My parents took me to Las Vegas to see the Manhattan Transfer. They are what you call vocalies, which is the nerdiest of the nerds, but they basically take jazz standards and they sing the like horn lines and melodies in harmony and they put words to them. So
Yeah.
if you ever wondered why Boris' sister was my only friend when I was little, that's why.
I think I told you, Karina. My sister is really good friends with Talina.
Yeah. But but yeah, but we also spoke about like theater kids
Yes.
because and I myself am a theater kid, so I appreciate your first pick because
So
I
it's so
know,
theatrical.
but it's a fun listen. I mean, it's a great
Thank you.
listen.
Thank you.
I'm
Just
gonna
as for the
agree.
Manhattan Transfer.
You get like caught up in it and you're like, I can get down with this in the best way possible and everything just you just get you're just happy when you listen to it. It's amazing.
Thank you. That's
I'm
how I
sorry.
feel. I mean, they're not all bangers on there.
No, no.
Like there are some weird songs on that record that I kind of like you skip them. But but overall, and I have all these memories from my childhood, like sitting on my floor in my bedroom with my boombox and my dad and my uncle who are both like have played are musicians, I guess.
Mm,
And we would sit and the three of us would sing like the songs together and my uncle
yeah.
would do the bass and my dad would do the tenor and I'd do like the soprano and like that was like what we would do. Again, I clearly did not have a lot of friends. That was like what we would do on a after we'd eaten like Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, like we'd just sit and do that. And you would think I would have a better musical ear for being raised that way, but I have an absolutely horrific one. But I can appreciate people who have that skill, and the Manhattan Transfer have that skill.
But I just want to say that if it's your first time listening, like if you listen, if you're listening right now, well, it's not live, but if you're listening and going, oh, this sounds really interesting, I think you should listen to the entire album. And everybody will love the Shaker song.
Yeah. It's like again, there's some like I think isn't Kikuyu on that record? Like that's a really weird song. Like
Yeah,
why did they do that? That's like super strange. I'm trying to pull up like the track list so that I can like actually remember all
Well,
the little things, but
I thought
it's
I
kind
heard
of
the
an odd.
best pop song about Coke that The Weeknd had done, but I was wrong until I heard Wacky Dust.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's funny. I never thought about that being about drugs. I've been listening to this album since I was so little. I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah, like Body and Soul is kind of odd. I used to get down to Twilight Zone, Twilight Tone, so specific and weird. Like, why is that a thing? But I love it. Trickle Trickle was one we used to sing a lot. And then I wouldn't even listen to Foreign Affair because I was like 8. So I was like, who needs this? This is boring and
I do.
slow and
It's Tom
lies.
Waits. I need this. I got to it, and I'm like, they're not going to fucking cover Tom Waits. And then I get there, and it's a fucking Tom Waits cover.
It's like, it's like so random, but yeah,
And
it's
Body and
my love. I
Soul.
don't know.
I like Body and
Oh,
Soul also. That's one of my favorite jazz songs.
Oh, but I thought that was boring again when I'm 8. I'm
Oh.
like fast songs only ones where people are doing a lot of harmonies.
Only
Like,
only this Devo core.
yeah, only like how ridiculous. Theatrical, truthfully. I mean, I think that's a big part of it is like growing up as a theater kid, I think I still gravitate toward, and our producer often tells me, stop doing insert whatever you're doing here. That's too theatrical. Like cut that. So, but I do really gravitate toward that a lot.
I think you need to do it. I think we need to tell Cameron, like, dude, just get with it. Like, we need some what's it called? The clapping. I was just talking about it. Karina, come on. Like the rockabilly clapping for songs and so I think we need to bring back a lot of rockabilly in theater in music. Like
You know what?
we do.
I think it's got its place, and like even ska, like having horns and things like that, like the kind of ska that we play is very like there's a lot of theatrics going on,
I mean, you can be dramatic with them, right? You can be dramatic with the horn section and just add vocals to it. That would be so cool.
We have that song that we did. I'm blanking on the name. Oh, This Love Is Dead. That's a super theatrical song that we did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. And so I think, yeah, sometimes I can like sneak in those ideas from time to time.
Oh, I love that. I'm fascinated. I really love the picks.
Thank you. I was like, are these like, you start to think like you get self-conscious, like, oh, how are these
Oh
gonna
yeah.
stack up amongst other people's picks? What did other people like? I'm like, oh, okay. But then I was like, let me just be honest. Like, and I'm very outspoken about my love for the Manhattan Transfer. Again, I say it in interviews all the time, and I'm often roasted for it, especially in my own household. My husband thinks it's hilarious and ridiculous. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Think it's hilarious and ridiculous all you want.
But you're gonna listen to it and you're gonna learn to love it.
Exactly.
Your husband's English, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
They have their own stuff, like Chaz and Dave. Like, come on,
Yeah,
who loves a Chaz and Dave record? Like, I'm just kidding. Sorry, everyone from East London. It's great. I actually do like Chaz and Dave, but
but they have their own issues.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I have Manhattan Transfer.
yeah, and he probably has something else that he doesn't want to admit to the public.
No, he wants people to think he's very cool. I mean, he is cool, but
He'll never admit that he loves Oasis. I love Oasis. I'm allowed to shit on them for that one. I love them, but I would not pay for their concert.
no, yeah, that was pretty wild. I have not really gotten into Oasis, despite Mike forcing me to listen to it in the van because I said I don't really get Oasis, and then we had to listen to it from like I don't know Grand Junction, Colorado to Denver one time, and I was like, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like I'm not about it as a lot of other people are.
Yeah, no, never hit for me. But I'm also a Beatles fan, so I'm like, we're good.
I know, right? I'm a huge Beatles fan. The Beatles were one of the like albums I was considering for this time period, this first
Mm.
category, because I listened to a lot of Beatles when I was growing up. But it seemed to like, I don't know, what am I going to say about the Beatles that hasn't already been said? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not going to
yeah.
Yeah.
bring an
But
interesting or fresh take with I love the Beatles.
Forrest, we're all Beatles fans. But
Yeah.
Oasis is like the 90s. Beatles
I
is the
know a
60s.
handful of people that don't like the Beatles. Now, I don't want to cut these people off, but I will if I have to.
Oh, if it's between the Beatles or Friends, I pick the Beatles. Like Friends come and go, but the Beatles, man,
No, these
they
are
are
friends I've had
forever.
for 30 something years, so I can't really.
Wow. I forget those people exist. Like
Mm,
Beatle haters. But then I
they do.
remember that the Rolling Stones exist, so that makes sense. It's always like growing up, it was like T-Rex or Styx. It was Rolling Stones or the Beatles. I just remember that so clearly. Oasis or Blur. Oh, we all had them. I grew up in a very
It's
weird.
true. In Sync
Okay.
or Backstreet Boys. That was
Yes,
another one.
Christina or Britney.
Yeah. Yeah. Why make people choose? Everyone can love everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm so much against like when people go, "Oh, my guilty pleasure in music." It's like, what's a guilty pleasure in music? Just own up to the fact that you like a cappella or whatever. It can't get weird. Like everybody's like, "Oh, my guilty pleasure is Limp Bizkit." That's not even my guilty pleasure. Like I openly love Limp Bizkit. I will go
Well,
headfirst
we had a good run,
into
guys. No, I'm joking.
into the pit. You can't have a guilty pleasure when it comes to music. Everything's a pleasure.
I agree. Not feeling guilty for my love of Taylor Swift.
Uh,
All right. So your teen album was Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
Yep, Back to Black. I feel like you can clearly see the like, okay, we started with the nerdiest version of jazz and now we're going to the cool version.
I just want to say I love the fact that you picked that. I don't know why, but I was listening to your music and I was like, I feel some Winehouse in here, like influence in the early stuff. So when I saw that she was added to the team bit, I was like, I respect this.
Thanks. Yeah, I like I said, I think on accident I ended up doing like a musical influence journey. But I found Amy Winehouse during this time. I know she was like really popular, but I was like so slow on like getting into popular music. I mainly just listened to musicals like a little weirdo. That was like my main thing. And all my friends were like, you need to try other stuff. Around this time, I also started listening to My Chemical Romance, but and like Real Big Fish. But I discovered Amy Winehouse, and then I was like, oh shoot, this is so cool. And I remember taking it to my vocal coach and going like, hey, I want to learn to sing like this. And so then she ended up getting me into like, okay, doing standards and like that kind of stuff. And that was like a big part of my training for a while. And I sort of like to lean into that when I can, because I feel like that's how my voice sounds best. I think I'm always like, I just want to start a band that's like Amy Winehouse, but like punk, like songs,
Yeah.
like punk Amy Winehouse. But I obviously have nowhere near the chops of Amy Winehouse, but it was a really big influence on me. And I like how honest she is in her songwriting, which I think is something that I'm still working on to this day, but is a really good lesson for people of like, it doesn't even always have to make sense to everybody else as long as it makes sense to you. And I think like some of the songs on this record like have that, where it's telling her story from like a really honest place where she's like, oh, I have not done great things, or or I've struggled, or I think a lot of people can relate when they hear that, or just honesty. Like I think it's just really refreshing to hear honesty uh in music, you know?
Mm, yeah, yeah. I think I always get sad when I listen to the album because I think we lost her way too early. Like, but back then, I also don't think that anybody appreciated her talent as much as we do now. Because I remember I grew up with it because I lived in Denmark and I'm part Scottish, and my dad's friends were like, they were really into Amy Winehouse, so we would listen to it when they came over. And I just remember like Back to Black and like the singles, Rehab. I can't listen to that song because it's just so sad. I get it. I fully respect she didn't want to do it back then. Like, but I just felt it was so sad. Now, when she passed away, I was like, oh no, honey, I miss you. I
Yeah,
don't know
it
you.
was such a tragedy when she passed away. She was like
Mm,
really like the talent of a generation, like incredible,
mm,
incredible voice, incredible. Just I remember seeing an interview of her, and she said, "Oh yeah, I just like make it up. Like it just comes to me. Like all her vocal runs and stuff. Like she just had the ear for it, and she was just able to always improvise. And you, when you watch these live videos of her now, it's like
mm.
it's sad because she's like off her tits on." Booze and stuff. And there's one I remember watching where she's like literally crawling around on the ground, bless her heart. Like she's just like whatever. But she sounds incredible. And she's
Yeah.
just like no two performances were the same because she was just like improvising. And I think I also like was so drawn to her because like I do not have that talent at all. They try to train that talent into me. I don't have it. Like, and it's really sweet when people will ask me like, "Hey, do you want to jump on this song?" Like when I did the Less Than Jake tour, they're like, "Do you want to come on and sing the harmony in our last song?" And I was like, yeah, like, because you're not going to say no unless then Jake asks you like to come on stage. But I was just sitting like in the van, just listening over and over because I'm so panicked about having to sing this damn harmony and I don't know it and I'm stressed. And like, I just always think like Amy Winehouse had such a gift. It's
Mm,
so cool to like watch her work, and
yeah.
come up with all these incredible arrangements and things like that. And that was something that I was really drawn to. But yeah, the songs on this record now, I'm like, I gotta pull it up. I'm so bad.
Yeah,
I should have done like prep.
I was about to ask which song is your favorite from the album? I'm always curious because no answer is ever the same when it comes to
Um,
favorite songs.
Like, this was actually my first listen because I was still stupid punk rock 20-year-old when this came out.
yeah, I
Mm.
think, I mean, obviously Rehab is like a really, really, really great song. But I think I'm like No Good is my favorite. And I used to sing it in like my vocal lessons and stuff. I think it's a really great song. I also love Tears Dry on Their Own, but it's probably because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
theatrical. Once again, I get all like into that. Like, I also think Some Unholy War is a really good song.
Mm.
Um, but I love how like Me and Mr. Jones is so honest. Just Friends is like really honest. Um, I mean, Back to Black. There's like a lot of bangers on here. Like Love is a
Oh, yeah.
Losing Game is like heartbreaking and great. Like Back to Black is a great freaking song. I don't know. They're all really good.
Did it challenge anything you believed at the time? Like, of what, I mean, you said it kind of pushed you in a direction, but did it challenge anything that maybe from the musicals that I've seen, I had seen you in, I don't know how many, but like, did it kind of challenge any of the things you learned from those musicals?
I think for me, I was so excited to be breaking out into like listening to new music and stuff, and I hadn't really um like I think this was touching on the Manhattan Transfer part of my brain, right? I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
And I think yeah, the where it challenged me or what I thought of like it's the honesty. Like, oh, people are singing their own experience. When I came from, you were singing something somebody wrote for you and like you're playing a character. This was like, oh, she's singing about her own life and you can write about your own life and you can express how you're feeling through your own words. And this was my teenage years was about the time when I started being like, oh, I want to be in a band. Like, let
Mm.
me, you know, something I'd never thought of doing. If you'd asked me when I was younger before then, like, hey, do you want to be in a band? I'd be like, no, why would I do that? I'm for the theater, you know? And I think that was sort of where I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can tell my own story if I want to, which I think is cool.
Awesome. Was this the first record that made you feel like it was your music kind of?
Uh, yeah, I think so. Like it was very different to what like so I grew up in a house that my parents always had on like Green Day and like
Mm.
Goldfinger and No Doubt and like that kind of stuff was kind of a
Yeah.
lot. And then like 80s, like Echo and the Bunnymen, like, you know, and ska. Like my dad had on like two-tone ska and stuff like that. Um, and so this was like so different than that that I think I
Mhm.
kind of felt like I had ownership over it in a different way. Like nobody really showed it to me. I like found it myself.
You decided you were going to gatekeep Amy Winehouse forever.
Exactly. For me. But
Yeah.
I just remember being like, I want to be this funny, not the alcoholism, God love her, but
No.
I was like, I want to be like her. Like she's cool, but she's singing this like jazz and blues and it's like popular and it's cool and you know, she has great style and you know, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
starting to wear like winged liner around this time. Like I which I still do every day of my life. Um so I think it took a lot from her, especially as like a young person trying to find themselves. I think a lot came from discovering her at this time.
Mm. Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember the poof. I really wanted the poof. Oh,
Oh yeah, I definitely wanted the poof. My Asian hair was not having the poof though, that's for sure.
no,
It was
no,
like,
no, no,
no
no.
girl.
No, no. I was like, I loved her so much that I dyed my hair black. I'm naturally ginger. I never saw my ginger hair before I was 24 again because it was just like it was so hard to remove. I was so silly, but I really enjoyed her. Um yeah, but I remember when I was a teenager, none of my friends were listening to Fall Out Boy. So I gate kept the Fall Out Boy, and my friends were like introducing me to Cake and Motion City Soundtrack and stuff. And I was just like, no, I have something much better. And we were sitting listening to it, and they were like, oh, who's this? And I went, I'm not gonna say. And then do you remember the karaoke thingy for the PS2?
Mm-hmm. I do
Yeah.
actually.
My Chemical Romance was on there too. But Fall Out Boy was on it. So that's how my friends found out that it was Fall Out Boy at my home. And I just remember I died so hard that day. I wanted to be the female version of Patrick Stump.
I think we all did at one point. Like I feel that. And then
Yeah,
I found out
because
he's like a super big Fishbone fan. I was like, I knew it. I knew like
oh, that makes so much. Oh, I didn't know that, but now that makes sense. But
Yeah, he's
again, he's also a theater kid. Like he's also dramatic. Like well, when you listen to. So yeah, I'm a firm believer that we should all listen more to Amy Winehouse daily.
I agree. I definitely agree.
all right. So your 20s was Dance Craze, the
Yeah,
Best of British two-tone
it's a
live.
great record. A
Oh my
great
God.
movie.
Yes. The
But
English
yeah,
beat
my 20s is when I started playing in a ska band. So
Mm.
that's kind of that
that.
was when I got way more into ska. I could have picked Dancehall Crashers too for that, but I feel like I've talked a lot about the Dancehall Crashers. So I figured I'd switch it up a little bit.
How old were you when you found it?
I think my dad was probably playing it in the house when I was growing up. But
Yeah.
I always thought of ska, a lot of it as like my dad's music. Like I just was like, oh, my dad was like on to like ska and mod and stuff. And I was like always around, but I'm like, that's his music. And he'd show it to me and I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever. And so then when I started playing ska, I like really started doing a deep dive and like started learning about rock steady and two tone and yada yada yada, you know, and getting all into that. Rock steady is still my favorite kind of ska. But yeah, so started learning more and more. And then that's when with Bite Me Bambi, I think I was how old when we started Bite Me Bambi? Maybe 24, 25. And I was like, I want to make our sound have more of a two-tone influence. I was listening to so much of it at the time. And it's just a great record. It's like, you know, just the greatest hits of the scene at the time. And it's a
Yeah.
very like captures a moment in time in Scott, which I think is very cool. Plus, I think the special two Skinhead Symphony on that, right? Which is one of my
I don't,
favorites.
maybe in the movie, but not on the
Oh, in the movie they
record.
do. Yeah. See, these are all bangers in here. 3 Minute Hero, come on.
Hmm.
Great. Missing words, yeah. Great. It's all great shit. Love the selector, you know, body snatchers. Like it's also like showcasing a lot of women in Scott, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, I'm a big English beat guy. That was like a lot of my
I
bass,
like English music a lot.
a lot of my bass playing when I was playing. I had found the English beat. You can tell.
I love when you can like hear people's influences. I mean, I think we you can always hear everybody's. It's like you can't hide it. It's like a part of you that everyone can see, no matter how hard you try. Like you can't hide it, which I think is kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I also love the English beat, but I feel like this is like a cool, yeah, snapshot, cool introduction. Like I tell people ask me like, oh, what should I listen to? I want to start listening to Scott. I mean, not that a lot of people ask me that, but every once in a while people will ask me that. And I always say like Dance Craze is a good place to start for like understanding two-tone and stuff like that.
Definitely, definitely. I think it was one of the first records I bought used, like at a record store.
Oh yeah. It's yeah, there was a lot of copies of it floating around. I think I lost mine in the divorce, but I have to go rebuy it.
I've tried showing this to Johnny, but he's just full on madness at the moment. He's
Madness is
But that's cute.
Madness is famous,
he's like
you
and
know.
like
I
and like keep moving madness, not even like two-tone madness, like deep cuts madness.
That's so funny.
That's
I know I'm excited to see them. I think next year it's Madness and Squeeze,
Out here?
or
Out here?
no, it's in England.
Oh fuck. I
But we're going.
figured
I've
this one
never
was easy.
seen Madness.
Oh, you
I
haven't?
think they're really the no, I've never seen them. I think they're the last. I mean, obviously the Body Snatchers don't play anymore, but I have
mm,
seen Road to Dakar. Um, I think yeah, they're the only one I haven't seen. I got to see the specials in the
Same.
backyard.
Yeah.
I also had to see them play at House of Blues in Vegas. So that was pretty cool. And then my little brag I always have to put in is that I got to play with one of the specials, which is pretty cool. Linville came up on stage with us in Seattle a couple years ago, and we did Gangsters because it was our closer for a long time. Um,
oh, that's
and
so
he,
cool.
yeah, he's so sweet. He's so cool. And he's always like calling me his daughter. He's so sweet. And he's always like,
Oh,
last time I saw him in Punk Rock Bowling, he was like, why haven't you asked me to come up? And I was like, because you're Linville, like you're busy. You're the guy. Like I'm not gonna call you, be like, do you want to come down to the Crocodile and like come on stage again? And he's like, no, I'll always come. I was like, okay, all right.
we'll let you
So
come shake ass on stage, man.
I was like, that's an honor. It's like literally, I burst into tears when it started. When he came out and we're like, oh, everybody, and he gave a little speech. It was about
Mm.
Terry. It's not that long after Terry had passed. It was really beautiful. And then he's all like, Bernie Rhodes knows don't argue. And I was like, whoa, oh shit, it's happening. And I forgot to start playing the guitar and I just started crying. And I was like, oh
He's
no.
playing.
And Mike, our keyboard player, same thing. We both just were like crying and we like weren't playing. And we're like, oh shit. And so we started the song, we do the song, and like Linval's like freaking toasting all over the stage. And then all of a sudden Chris from Fishbone comes down and he's there and I turn and I'm like, ah, and he's dancing on the stage. And I was like, what is my life? Like, how did I get here? This is like the coolest shit that's ever happened to me. And then I just remember going off stage and sitting in the dressing room backstage with Mike and just crying. We were both just sitting there crying. We're like, this is the coolest shit that's ever happened.
Jesus.
Yeah, Linville's
That
always been
was
very, very sweet, very kind.
I just think this story beat like the Jeff Rosenstock who car. That made the bar sound low, but this story actually had me like, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And we played a show, a benefit show, up in LA a couple years ago, and it was in Terry Hall's memory. So all the specials were there and stuff,
Mm.
and I got to see them all again and got to meet them all, which was really cool. And it was yeah, it was just that was a great night too. We just played a little set, but they had tons of people come out and honor Terry, and all the guys from No
Yeah.
Doubt came and played, and like Fishbone like played with them, and like it was just like a really cool night. But we have a great photo of our bass player Ryan being taught by like Horace like how to play the Gangsters like bass line like Ryan was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to double check if like this part's right," and he was like breaking it down for him and stuff, which was pretty cool. So
That's
special,
awesome.
special moments. I have a lot of special memories around the specials and dance craze and stuff. So,
Mm.
but this is my 20s is about the time where I start really diving into a lot of it more than I had previously.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I felt like that was the most disjointed
No, it's
like
fine.
story
No,
and statement. I
no,
felt like my
that was
hangover was real in that whole section. I was like, "Ooh."
All right. So your last record is Megan the Stallion. Megan.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yep,
is the
yep,
one
yep.
Lisa laughed at me that I had to listen to because she's all like, "This isn't your lane. This isn't this if this was a Jetsons flying car, you would still be in a car on the ground. Like it would be the Jetsons flying car up here and you would be down here."
Yeah, I feel
I
like a lot of people think it's odd or don't assume that like I would love Megan Thee Stallion, but I really love Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm sorry, but everyone loves Megan. She's amazing. And I laughed. I didn't laugh because it was on the list. I laughed because Forrest had to listen to it and actually and actually have an opinion on something that's completely out of his field. I love the album. I think it's some of her best work. I love
I
how
agree.
like Cobra is so personal. I really love it when she's so introspective and so personal that she's so comfortable just talking about her depression because
Yeah.
I still think like the mental health in hip hop and rap is still such a taboo because it just feels like they always have to be tough. And so like she's okay being vulnerable, but the whole album, holy shit, it's so much fun. And like the what's it called? What's the song that she has with Victoria? What's it called again? I have to spin. That's so beautiful. Like her and Victoria Monet, they just complement each other so insanely. And what's his face? Kyle Rich on
No, because it's a long record because I think it was released in like two parts originally.
mm,
And so it's like really long. But it's I think she's great. I think like you said, like her honesty, like she's a poet. And I think a lot of people know her from like, Thought Shit and stuff like that. And those are great and really fun songs. But for me, what like really turned me on and like got me like so into her and into this record is Hiss. Like it's such a freaking great song. And in this time is like when we put out our last record, I was listening to this a lot and like remembering because I felt like I was our last record was the first time I was really honest in my songwriting. And I just remember being like, if she's so brave and so honest and like telling it like it is and like not putting up with the haters, like I was like,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it too. And
Yeah.
I kept wanting to like, okay, yeah, like that intro at the beginning where she's like, I just want to keep this job. I think, fuck y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to do that at the start of our record, and everyone was like, no, you can't
Ah,
do that. And I was like, come on.
What
And like, what are you gonna say? They're
what
like,
was
she did
the
it perfectly. If you try to do it, it's just gonna be dumb. And like, they were right. I did not need to do that at the beginning of the record, but I wanted to so badly. And I love there's this like in line in that song where she's like, always got my ass out, always let my titties show. When I'm in the gym, I think about bitches that I'm shitting on. And I think about that all the time. It's so incredible. Like, yes, every time I'm running, I'm like, yeah, on the bitches that I'm shitting I just love it. It's so good. And it's just so empowering. Like, yeah, and she sings a lot about like, female sexuality and like just I don't know, it's just really like, yeah, she's just amazing. I just love her.
I mean, like just the song base, like the BAS song. I just pulled up the lyrics because I had to make sure that that was the name of the song. Just like that ain't my bae. He's more like my bidet. And so I still remember the first time I heard it. I was floored because it's one thing being vulnerable, but it's also one thing being so free in your sexuality as you can be. because not everybody is as comfortable, and that's what makes her so empowering when you listen to her. That, and she has some sick ass beats.
Yeah, I saw her live once at TwitchCon, if you can believe it. Super random. It was Meet Me at the Altar open, then it was Kim Petras, and then I didn't know who Kim Petras was. I was like, who is this person? Like like that My Coconut song. I mean, it's a banger, but I just was like, what? And then she sat down and she was like on the stairs, and she like had all her dancers around her, like she was gonna get serious, and she was like, I wrote this song. I think it's called Jesus is a Rock Star. And she was like, because I have, being trans, which I didn't know she was trans, being trans, I have a very difficult relationship with Jesus. And I was like, where is this going? Like, she has layers. I was not ready for any of this.
She's an onion. We're peeling like, her back.
I mean, she's up there singing Throat Goat, and then she sat down and sang a song about Jesus. I was like, okay,
she
cool.
Wrote, I remember her from the song with Sam Smith. Holy, oh
yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
That's whenever I DJ like Pride nights and stuff. That one's in there. That was a banger.
That is a banger. That has me moving. I when it pops off and I'm on the train, I do not care. There's a little sprint in my walk when I leave that train.
It's a great song. But so then Megan Thee Stallion was the headliner of that show at TwitchCon, and I was like freaking out because I had no idea that she was going to play, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And so, but she has such an energy about her that's so kind, and like she brings people up on stage and lets them dance and stuff, and like one guy like ran up on stage and security was like ready, and then he just wanted to dance, and she was like, let him dance. And she was like asking everybody like, how are you feeling good about yourself, like all this, like you should feel good. It's like there's all this big pump up speech, like it's really cool, like and everybody had like a really great energy in the crowd because of that. I think like you're setting that, as the artist, you're kind of setting the vibe for everybody. And I thought it was really cool that like she took the time to make sure like people felt comfortable and and expressing themselves. And I just thought, yeah, she's just really, really cool, and she's got like a good sense of humor about herself. And yeah, I think her poetry is really, really cool and really beautiful and inspiring. And yeah, I have a playlist called Bad Bitch Playlist, and like there's like 6 Megan Thee Stallion songs on it. So when like before shows, when I'm really nervous, I'll pop it in while I get ready. And so yeah, that's a lot of Megan Thee Stallion on it. It's like Dancehall Crashers and Megan Thee Stallion.
I could do
But
this.
I also thought it was funny. I made myself laugh in that you were like, oh, you can have honorable mentions if you want. And for this section, it was this record, and then I think Back to Basics by Billy Bragg, right? Was my alternative.
There's a range.
I was like, I think this says a lot about my taste. Like this is pretty, like that's it right there.
Oh, I know. I just think it's awesome. How did you feel, Forrest, when you had to listen to it? I mean, we can also just jump ahead to what one of my friends said.
I didn't hate it. I've become softer about pop music since I've been married. And I have kids who listen to pop music, and I don't want to be like, oh, your shit sucks, because you shouldn't do that to children, I've been told. And, I have to realize that, and it's happening already. For as much as I trained Emily to like punk rock and be into punk rock, she is listening to popular music that I would never like. Jason and I, our editor, talked about this. What do the children of punk rock kids rebel with? And it's pop music. And
oh yeah,
Emily is like, what do you listen to, Emily? Rihanna?
Well, but Rihanna rocks. Like he can't.
Yeah.
That.
And again, it's just not for me. I'm not saying she doesn't have a place, but not for me. That's
Breaking Dishes also on the Bad Bitch playlist, by the
way. and so yeah, that's what it as I'm older, it's become, oh, this shit sucks, to, oh, not for me. Just not for me. This though, there were some songs on here I was okay with.
Did you at any point feel like you needed to go and find something to clutch when she was singing?
No.
Any of the songs?
No, it's okay. No.
I also feel bad because I forgot that it's a double album, because I always think of it as like the first drop, and then the second one is the second record. So I accidentally made you listen to like a really long Megan Thee Stallion record.
I just put it on at work, and I was like, oh, this is a long album. Okay, it's 51 minutes. It's not like it's a long it's like the normal length of an album, I would
That's true.
think. I mean,
Mm.
it it was fine. It, like I said, not if it's gonna come on again, I'll be like, oh, this song, I know this song because I had to listen to it for this. That's how it pretty much happens. Is like I know this, but I'm not like I said, I've moved from this shit sucks to oh, not for me. So that's
But come
cool.
on, when she started it off with, I just want to kick this shit off by saying fuck y'all and
Okay,
clear my name on a
that
motherfucking thing.
yeah, no, like I like that. Like that there were lines that are funny that I was like, oh, that's witty. I mean, I yes, as
Yeah, but she's wonderful, like with her one hits, like the one-liners in the songs, like they're
coming
so randomly drunk.
coming from a childhood reading comics and watching action movies, yeah, those one-liners are fucking great. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and she then there's so much like anime, like she's really into anime, so there's like a lot of
Yeah.
like anime
yeah, Lisa goes,
which
Well,
is
like
this
I am not
Record.
into it at all. It like goes like way over my head, but like in her
or,
videos, like she has so much of like that influence, which I think is really cool.
yeah, Lisa goes, is this the one with the Japanese song on it? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, that's the one I thought it was.
Yeah, so no shade to whoever that guest is on that song. That I don't know his name. He's a Japanese rapper, but I
Mm.
do not understand like that style of rap. It sounds like very boring to me, and he's just like this, like he's just talking like this and like blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure that's someone's thing, like cool, good for them. But I was like, this is odd and an interesting matchup in her energy. Like up here, and he's like just sounds like he's talking. And then I saw them perform it live together, and I was like, that's exactly what I thought that guy was gonna look like. And
So
he had the
he was
same
just,
like stage presence as you would think from listening to him.
oh no. Yeah, but that's the funny part because I feel like everybody, not that they exactly hate that song, but it's just one of those songs where they're like, it's there.
Yeah. Yuki
And
Chiba, that's his name.
yeah,
Yes.
and you can appreciate it, but it's also random. Like, no, I
Yeah.
just it's random, it's on there. And that's no shade to Megan. I do hope one day that I get to interview her and she doesn't come back and be like, Karina, you've said this, you're awful. I just think that that's the one song I will forever skip. I actually think I've hidden it.
Interesting. I still listen to it, but yeah, there's just a lot of like there's just a lot of bangers on this record. Like it's cool. Good stuff. But
Mm.
yeah, I could see maybe where Forrest doesn't particularly speak to you because I feel like a lot of people love her for her like female empowerment and like that kind of thing. I think
And
it's a lot of like
that doesn't bother me either. Like
not that
there's
it would bother you, but it might not like
yeah.
resonate with you the same way. Like when you hear when I'm in the gym, I think about bitches I'm shitting on. You're probably not like, oh yeah, like or what my
As
pussy's so famous might get managed by Chris Jenner next, which also is an
Oh,
incredible line. But like maybe that's not really resonating with you, and I understand. Like,
yeah.
I remember I like when I was listening to it earlier, I had this very sudden feral urge to, like everybody's taking those selfies from the top right now so you can see down. I was like having this feral moment where I was like gonna be topless and just like covering my boobs and just being like just tagging Kylie Jenner and being like, hey girl, who did your bolted on boobs? And and my friend was like, Karina, you can't do that. That is you cannot do that. You're a mother. I was just like,
huh,
but
mothers can do
Meg
whatever.
I was like, but Megan Thee Stallion could talk about her titties being managed by Chris Jenner. Why can't I? And he was like, this is two different lanes, girl.
That's the power of Megan. This is the power of
Exactly.
Megan. It just makes you feel confident in yourself.
Yes.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I found like this record when I was getting divorced, and I really needed like a pump up. Like, I
Yeah.
needed to feel like it's okay to be alone. It's okay. I went through a period of like really rediscovering who I was,
Mm.
because I just become sort of this amalgamation of my ex-husband's interests. And so
Mm,
I was like in therapy, and I really was legit making a list of like, who am I? What do I like? And I think that's common in a lot of
mm,
like long-term relationships. You sort of converge into one being endpoints, right? Like, and your interests become shared, and which it
mm.
can be a beautiful thing. But I had to be like, okay, what do I like? What are the things I like? What do I care about? And so I was like literally making a list. And so songs on this record just really made me feel like I could be confident, I could be alone, I could be who I wanted to be, I could be, you know, all these things. And I looked to it for support. And the Billy Bragg record is the exact same thing the other way. Like it got me through the same time period, but just in a different way.
In those
Mm.
quiet moments when you're like, I don't need to be a bad bitch. I need to sit and cry.
Yeah, when I like, oh, I need to go and like be asleep on this plane right now.
Mm.
Let me put on Billy Bragg to sing me to sleep because I'm all alone on tour. Like, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's a good Billy Bragg album too.
Yeah, it's my favorite Billy Bragg album. And I got to meet Billy Bragg that same year that so I guess that was what, 2024 I got to meet Billy Bragg. Um which was pretty fucking incredible. And he was just as nice and lovely as you would hope he would be.
Well, that's good.
I just remember being like, Selena, whatever you do, just say, hi, thanks, nice to meet you. And don't say, oh my God, your record got me through. But I like
So
legit,
much.
we were at Punk Rock Bowling, and my keyboard player, Mike, and I were in the, like, how they call it, the old man bar, like the artist bar. And it was just Billy Bragg all by himself on stage, on the main stage. And he was, I think, second to last of the night. So everybody's drunk. All these punks are drunk. But like you could hear a pin fucking drop, and it's just Billy Bragg on stage. There's all these freaking thousands of people or whatever watching him. And then Mike and I were just standing there crying, like legit standing there looking up at the Jumbotron crying. And then we went to his club show, and that's when, yeah, we were able to, through a friend, um, able to hook it up where we were able to meet him. And I just was like, it's an honor to meet you. Like, thank you for all you do, I think is what I said to him. But inside I was dying, and I was just like, oh my God, you got me through so much. Thank you. Thank you for being so cool. But I
You got an in
didn't want to start
between.
crying.
So
Yeah, I didn't want to like start crying for a third time in Billy Bragg's presence that weekend. So and I remember too being like, I can't drink a lot today. Like I can't be drunk when I meet Billy Bragg. Like I have to be like sober, and I have to be like focused.
Oh my
Because I was like,
God.
I don't want him to think I'm just some drunk bitch. Like so yeah, I think the both those records just really serve different purposes for me in a really difficult time in my life, but also a really beautiful time. And I think I took um comfort in different ways from them. But it was good.
Would you have
Oh.
connected with the Megan album at an earlier age, do you think?
No. And I really, and even like a year difference, I probably like, I liked her stuff before. I liked like, you know, Karina was saying about like mental health and things like that when she did that song, you know,
Mm.
bitches have bad days too. Like that whole like stuff I think is great. And I was really into Cardi B. I still love Cardi B, also on the bad bitch playlist.
I really
But
want
I
that
think
playlist.
it's so unhinged. Hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll read you a couple entries off of it. But sorry, to answer your question, I'm getting totally off track. Yeah, I think it was really like getting divorced, having to find my own self, having to find my own voice, I think is really where, and not wanting to put up and going, honestly, going to therapy, shout out therapy,
Mm.
and realizing that like some friendships in my life weren't serving me anymore. I couldn't worry about what people were saying about me. You know, sometimes people say mean things about me on the internet, and I try not to look, but like, you know, stuff like that. Like, I just couldn't be bothered with any of that. I couldn't be bothered with scene drama. I couldn't be bothered with trying to be the best or whatever and winning out shows or what. I just couldn't. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make myself happy and stay in my own lane. I remember during that time always saying, I am where my feet are, and just like being present, and like the internet is not real, and like these are real things right here, right now. Me, my friends, my family, whatever, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so I think this record really touched on like the fuck the haters, or you can't worry about what people are saying about you. You can't, you just have to kind of be the best you can be. And I think that that's really, even like I said, even a year off, it hit me at a really, really specific time period. Where's my bad bitch playlist?
Yeah, but I think that's really interesting because I myself have just gone through that period where I've just been like, you know what? I'm so done. Like what people have to say about everyone, like everybody would rather be up in everybody else's business than they would be up in their own. Because if they noticed anything in their own life where they'd have to take responsibility, they would have a mental breakdown. And that's the people that are all up in everybody else's business or sitting online making shit comments at people they don't know. So yep. I, like you, did the whole thing. Can't control what other people have to say about me. Can't control what they think about me. They don't like me, but you know what? We can't all like everybody, but I don't have to like them either. That's the cool thing, right? So
it's very true. You can also say, hey, this is a boundary for me. Like, I don't want to be in this friendship, or I don't want to be in this relationship, or, you know, what have you. I went through like a lot of big changes in that time. And I think, yeah, I feel like that really, it resonated with me because when I felt, oh, I'm small. I don't have space here. I could think you could listen to like Megan Thee Stallion and be like, no, I can be big. Or oftentimes when we're like on the road, and this is kind of funny, we're on the road and we're driving from city to city. Sometimes you're tired, but the way that the guys will always get me up is either they turn Wicked on or they turn on like Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, and they're like, Tahlena will rise if we play this song. And so then we're backstage and like we're trying to get hyped or whatever, and I'll just be over there like rapping Cardi B because they turned it on so that I could get hyped.
I love this. That is so awesome. Oh, that is. Yeah. I need to come. I need to see it. I not see you rap. I need to see your show.
No, you don't want to see me rap. It's so bad. I'm horrible at it. As much as I want to be like, I want to rap. I'm like, I want to learn how to rap. Oh my God, I'm so bad at it. Okay. No, my Bad Bitch playlist has like Cardi B, Santi Gold, lots of Megan Thee Stallion, Fishbone, Fugazi.
Yeah,
Chapel Run.
What Fugazi song is on the Bad Bitch?
Waiting Room.
Nice.
Waiting Room, yeah. Blackpink, I've got some K-pop in here.
Oh, cool.
Feeder, Buck Rogers by Feeder. It's on there.
That is.
Yeah, it's like it's a very.
I think it should be renamed to the Baddest Bitch playlist. Like that's heavy. Like you were everywhere. Oh
yeah, so I don't know. It's my pump up before it's time to go out. You know, especially like when we got to open for Dance Hall Crashers, I was like shitting bricks. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so I just sat there and they put that on, did my makeup in the corner, like get hyped.
Everybody run away now. It's gonna get real up in here.
Right? I walk into the dressing room. I just want to kick the shelf and say, fuck y'all.
My titties are gonna be managed by Chris B at some point, and you aren't welcome. Oh, Chris Shetter. And no, I love that. That's one of the things I really like about rap music, and mostly from like female rappers. It's how they can make small, like when you feel your smallness, just like putting it on and you just feel 20 times larger than life. And that's
it's fake it till you make it. Like I borrow a little bit from them. That's how I feel. Like let's
just sprinkle someone's. Oh, that's so cool. Oh yeah, I have to come and see a Bite Me Bambi show.
Please do. Anytime hit me up. I'll put you on the list. You're more than welcome to come.
I'm so blessed.
When you make it to Denmark.
I really want to play in like Denmark and stuff. I don't know. We've been talking about trying to do some European stuff, mainly because I just want to go on vacation. And it's a fun way to work for 4 hours and get a paid vacation. So we're in talks for some Europe stuff, but and some UK, and then we got some States tours that we can't announce yet, but I don't know. There's like a rumor going around that we're not a band. I'm like, we're definitely a band, everybody. We're definitely a band.
That's a very wild and very specific rumor. That's
just that like the band's broken up or whatever. I'm like, here's the thing, you can live in a different country and still like be in a band. Like we tour, it's fine, you know. So
Oh no, you're not allowed to have lives? Well, that's wild.
What?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
some people I think would be like, "What? Skies of your life? You're gonna do it 24 hours a day?" But
I'm
yeah, no, still very much a band. Still got tours. Plenty of announcements coming. We're playing the Less Than Jake Wake and Bake March 13th. I'm excited for that. Like, got lots of fun stuff. We're playing Rebellion in Blackpool,
Oh yeah, I
in
know that.
August.
The last question I always like to ask, do you feel like there's a theme or a feeling or through line of sound that ties these together? I mean, I know you said it was kind of your musical journey.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what it is. Because I didn't, this is gonna sound bad. It wasn't I didn't want to give it too much thought, but I also wanted to shoot from the hip on giving you the records. Like I literally just was like,
Mhm.
okay, and then just, you know,
Yeah.
and I was curious then when I was reflecting on it, I'm like, oh, I wonder why I said these. And I think a lot of it is like musical journey, but also like personal growth. Like I said, those last two records are a lot of like, yeah, I mean, even it's funny now that we're talking through it, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's like Amy Winehouse, like I get a lot of my like personal style
Mhm.
from her, or and vocal style, or you know, wanting to emulate her as like a teenager and be cool like her. And then yeah, Megan Thee Stallion at a time when I needed confidence and to know it was okay to be me, and you know, that kind of thing. Like it's interesting to see, it's really just a growth of me as a human. Um,
Mhm.
but I think I don't think there's any musical through line through any of it.
Yeah.
Um, I guess. But I do think emotionally, and I guess that's really the point of the show, right? I'm sure everybody's like, oh, it's my journey.
Mhm.
But for me, I think it's very true, and just how I who it's very interesting, right? Because it's just who you become
Yeah.
essentially is shaped through a lot of this, especially as an artist. I think I was looking up like Pink is another one that I could have put in that teenage category when I discovered and listened to a lot of Pink, and took a lot from that stage present. I remember when, I guess Pink would have been in my 20s because that's really when we, well, no, teens, but when I started being in bands, I would just watch videos of Pink, of Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, of like, I would just watch videos and be like, who am I going to be an artist, you know? And I think that's really a lot of all of these choices, um, especially the Manhattan Transfer.
I'm gonna be Manhattan Transfer.
Oh God, I wanted to be so badly, but very quickly it was like, no, Thalena, that's not your skill set. You can be an appreciator of that kind of music.